talk to you about something that a lot of people overlook. Survival books. Don't worry about this one. Just go ahead. Your day's coming, I'm telling you. Anyway, survival books, something that people always overlook. Years ago, I used to have a Boy Scout book, and it was really, really good. I can imagine the Boy Scout books now are probably don't have a pocket knife on you. Don't learn how to make a fire because you might become a homegrown terrorist or something. Don't do anything manly because then you'll be too manly and it's not fair to the women. You know how the books are now. Everything's been watered down so much. So you really have to go to a lot of these books like this. Believe it or not, this may look really fancy, but when I was a kid, this was a Boy Scouts book. And mind you, this is a lot more, geared towards adults, and there's just anything and everything you could possibly think of. And there's tons of books like that. This one is a really good one. It was about 30 or 40 bucks. And a lot of people, I don't have that kind of money to spend. Well, that's okay. Go to some of the used bookstores. I mean, sometimes you'll find that stuff. And then, of course, this one, it's been around. We've had this one, the Back to Basics. I've had this thing forever and a day, and you name it, it's in here. How to build, sand houses and gardening, basically this is like an 1800s Bible, like how people used to live, how they made brooms, and just you name it, it's in here. Some metalwork, blacksmithing, it's just everything. Now mind you, there's probably a lot newer versions of this thing. Survival, so it's not so much a survival book, but just a metric conversion tables. It's just knowledge. It's the simple form is it's just knowledge how to, and this book has been around, since I was a kid. How to make a stove fire log box, tying knots, how they used to make, wool, spinning wool and stuff like that. Canadian cuisine. Mind you, can check out the hairdo, eh? I bet you she was a hot chick in her day, but you know what I'm saying. The book was old, eh? And homemade ice cream. This is the way people used to live. Smoke drying seafood, or food from the sea. So basically, fish doesn't necessarily have to be from the sea, but sweet savor. Store your fruits. Enjoy the harvest year round. You know what I mean? It was all about food. It was all about how to shear sheep. I mean, this is how people used to live. You might look at something like this and say, oh my god, this is new and amazing. But this is not new and amazing. This is old and amazing. Different berries, how to use permaculture, even though they didn't call it permaculture back there, but gardening. What grows best by what and how to do it. Solar heaters, some of this stuff, you can get newer versions of this book that, but this book has been around, and I don't know what it was worth back in the day, maybe 10, 15 bucks. Even if you paid... Just with even with the outdated stuff in here, just the value of this book is it's stuff that I used to, before the internet, that's the stuff I used to read. But then, the ultimate survival book. Yeah, so this is the best book to get. Well, you might laugh, but sometimes just a good book to keep you laughing and entertainment. For example, Chuck Norris was the first person to tame a dinosaur. Chuck Norris once visited the Virgin Islands. Afterwards, they were just renamed islands. It kills me. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Books are often overlooked in the prepping community, and a good, especially the first aid. I have a first aid book, St. John's Ambulance book, and I don't know what I did with it. But this book is really good. It was written by a Canadian ex-military guy, and I mean, you name it, it's pretty much is in here. How to make snowshoes, equipment, knots, weather, meteorology. Other books you can get, for example, nautical books. They're very, very informative and stuff like that. There's all kinds of books you can get, and get better. It's just it's just a great book, and I forget what I paid for it, but it was like 30 or 40 bucks, and a book I'm looking for now is something to do with nuclear fallout and nuclear war survival. I haven't found a good book on that yet, but I'm sure there's something out there. But before the internet, that's what the entertainment was. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're interested in something like that. So what happens when you can't watch videos on it? We got to go back to the basics. Ah, look at that. They already got a book called that. But this book, I mean, even with some of the stuff being outdated in it, this is how people used to live. Like, you know, I mean, it's just, this book is an amazing book. It's been in my family for, oh my God, I don't know, since the 1980s. It's a great book. So I just thought it was something that, I'm not going to just recommend any one book, because it's just the idea of look for something. Because when it all, let's say an EMP hits or natural disaster, it's nice to have this stuff to go through. I definitely recommend medical books. I definitely recommend all that stuff. Again, if you're one of those people like me who barely reads, it's just good to have something that is a quick sum up. You know, and these books will do that. There, you know, there's pictures in them. Pictures are very easy to read sometimes, and something. Okay, just do that and that, and you'll get it. And then you'll read the fine caption. Okay, you do this and do that. You know, just a very basic, you know, not a novel on one issue type of thing. Just, you know, this is how you do it, and that's it. And then you can figure out the rest from there. And then when you want to get more elaborate into it, then you can get more books based on a specific subject. For example, when I get the book on nuclear war survival, it's probably going to be like that thick. You know what I mean? Not that I can't read or don't know how to read. It's the idea that I don't do a lot of it, and most people don't. Why? Well, the proof is that if you're watching this video, you're probably a person like me. That why read something when you can just watch it? You know, that's why we watch Discovery Channel, to learn. But books, survival books are a good thing, and anything to do with knowledge. Even if you go to a used bookstore, sometimes you can get old encyclopedias, you can get math books, you can get science books, you can get all that stuff. And I think books are highly overlooked. Yeah, they're not as cool as the gun issue for Doomsday and WROL, but these are building blocks of societies. Is knowledge, and knowledge can be only. I mean, this book has been around, okay, since the 1980s. If well kept, it could be around for thousands of years. You know, I'm not kidding you. Hey, how old are the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? Today's society, especially nowadays, like we could live like the 1800s, completely self-sustaining. Okay, with the amount of, like, for example, this castle I call my trailer, or trailer I call my castle, I guess you'd say. Yeah, I know it's a bit of a mess, but it's an ongoing project. So, but you get the idea. It's like this is probably built better than most houses in the 1800s. You know, okay, that's a different, you know, but you get the idea. I mean, you can make it work, and so the tooling. I mean, you know, tools like this back in 1800s, this kind of quality, okay, this one's kind of grubby, but you get the idea. Like, I mean, there's no way we can't live self-sustaining and independently in this day and age. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there, and yeah, there you go. Rate, subscribe, post it to your Facebook, get into a book. Yeah, get into something, but definitely get yourself a good survival book of some sort. And this one I really like, you know, and there's a million and one others. You go into your chapters or whatever, you'll find them all. And because you never know. I believe, some people believe there might be the second coming of Christ. Fine. Some people might believe that World War III might hit. Fine. Some people might think the zombie apocalypse, zombie cannibal apocalypse might hit. Fine. Some people might even say, hey, there might be an economic crash. Fine. Some people might even say there might be a food shortage. Fine. But what you really have to worry about is a teddy bear apocalypse. Okay, hi, welcome back to Doomsday Canadian. I wanted to talk to you about something that a lot of people overlook. Survival books. Don't worry about this one. Your day's coming, I'm telling you. Anyway, survival books, something that people always overlook. Years ago, I used to have a Boy Scout book, and it was really, really good. I can imagine the Boy Scout books now are probably don't have a pocket knife on you. Don't learn how to make a fire because you might become a homegrown terrorist or something. Don't do anything manly because then you'll be too manly and it's not fair to the women. You know how the books are now. Everything's been watered down so much. So you really have to go to a lot of these books like this. Believe it or not, this may look really fancy, but when I was a kid, this was a Boy Scouts book. You know, and there, mind you, this is a lot more, you know, geared towards adults, and there's just anything and everything you could possibly think of. And there's tons of books like that. This one is a really good one. It was about 30 or 40 bucks. And a lot of people, I don't have that kind of money to spend. Well, that's okay. Go to some of the used bookstores. I mean, sometimes you'll find that stuff. And then, of course, this one, it's been around. We've had this one, the Back to Basics.